Alrighty, Bulls fans, we are back, and today we are going to be talking about the Billy Donovan and the AK media availability, like stream or whatever that they posted on YouTube. I watched the video, took some notes down, and I'm going to be talking about it with y'all. So first thing I want to talk about is Billy Donovan didn't get too much questioning in this media day. Basically, he didn't get too many questions. But I'll start with him. So, first, reporter asked him about Kobe White, what he thinks about Kobe White and how much he's improved. He said he's improved. He's had a lot, and he has a lot of confidence in him. And he could definitely see him being a starting point guard, but I don't think he probably won't put him at the starting point guard position. And that's kind of scary because Kobe wants to be a starting point guard or wants to be in that position. And that's pretty scary to think about because if Kobe wants to start in point guard position and we can't give that to him because we got a different starting point guard, he could walk. But Billy also said that the summers are really important for training and improving and getting better in the offseason. And he also said it's important to put the work in and give the players certain things to work on in the offseason and like to figure out what the Bulls players need to do and what they failed to do during the games and what they need to work on that they didn't put in or that Billy didn't see in the game that they did that he wants them to do. And that's Billy didn't really get too much questioning, and he only got 2 or 3 questions. But we're gonna move on to AK. AK got most of the questioning, and he got all the questions about free agents, what he thought about different players, who he wants to bring back, what they're going to do in the offseason. So I'm hoping that we can definitely make some improvements and he can do that for us. But he said that he was proud of the group but disappointed that they lost the Miami Heat game. Yeah, I believe he also said that we need to improve on a lot of things and get better in different aspects of the game. He also said we finished the season positive, and he was probably talking about post All-Star break, which the Bulls did very well post All-Star break. They won 14-9, and reporters were asking about what he was looking at the whole season. But he was the reporter asked if this group, the core, was worth keeping after watching what they could do post All-Star break and not before All-Star break. So it's a very cloudy off season coming up because we don't really know what's going to happen. We don't know what their thought process is, and it's kind of scary because you never know with AK. So, and he also said we flipped the switch of beating bad teams and losing to good teams to beating good teams and losing to bad teams. So before this year, we made the playoffs, and we had to play the Milwaukee Bucks. And last year we would always beat the bad teams. We would blow out the bad teams. And we would lose and get blown out by the good teams that were playoff teams. And we really didn't have that mentality of winning and beating the good teams. You could just tell when we played the games against the good teams that our body language is very low and not very high in spirits. But this year, we lost close games to the bad teams, which all should have been wins. And we won all the games against the good teams, which is a good positive thought or image to think about. But we also want to beat the bad teams. If you look at the Bucks and Boston, they only lost 15, 20 games, and they're probably against the good teams. And then, I feel like we definitely need to start winning against the bad teams and start definitely playing better basketball. There's definitely a lot of things that need to be done in the offseason, so I'm hoping Acme can definitely improve this team and the roster heavily. And we lost 33 games to last shots, last minute, or OTs. So we lost 16 out of 33 games. to last shot, last minute, or OT games. That's a very, very high. That's 16 wins that we should have had. Because in the last minute of the games or last shots, we couldn't defend and we couldn't score probably. Because if we could defend, we would have won. And if we would have scored, we would have won. So we got to start doing that. But yeah, we lost 16 out of 33, that's a lot of games that could or should have been wins if we played good defense and could score the ball in clutch time. So we could definitely use some better defense, 100%. And the word of the year is probably inconsistency, because we were so up and down. That's what AK said. The word of the year was inconsistency, because we were so up and down with our season. Like, we would go on a 3-game win streak, and then we would get blown out by a bad team. 2-game win streak, and then we would get destroyed in a game. And then we would go on, like, I don't think we got over a 4-game win streak. It was just 3-game lose, 3-game loss, 3-game loss. It was like a repeated pattern, and we don't want that. We want wins. We want a long win streak, like the Bucks this year. They went on like a 12, 15-game win streak or something like that, and then AK said, we look like a 500 team, but the way we finished the season, I think we're on the right path. And he's talking about post All-Star break. I agree with him that we look like we're on the right path after the All-Star break. We definitely amped it up and played much better than we did before the All-Star break. But there's definitely plenty of changes that need to be made this offseason. And I don't think this core will be together after this offseason. But that's just me. But we'll see what AK does, but we never know with him, because he pulls some tricks out of his bag. And Billy beat them. AK said that him and Billy beat themselves up after the loss and what they can do better. Like, they beat themselves up about what they can do better to improve the team and about the losses, because they were probably beating themselves up about the 16 out of the 33 games of the last shots and the OTs and the last minute. And I would beat myself up too, because those are games that we need to improve and to show that we can compete and show that we can be a playoff team, not a play-in. We don't want to be we want to be a play-in. We can definitely be a play-in team and get through that, but not this year, obviously. But yeah, we don't really want to we don't want those 16 out of 33 games losses. That's not good for us. He said also this team deserved a chance to figure things out, and that there were no trades at the deadline to make this team better. I disagree. We definitely could have improved this team at the trade deadline, because Bones Highland went for 2 second-round picks. That is crazy, bro. That should have been us. We could have easily given away 2 second-round picks for a backup point guard like Bones Highland, or he could have even started for us. And we wouldn't even have to have Patrick Beverly. We could have Bones Highland at the starting position, or we could put Kobe at the starting position and have Bones coming off the bench with AC and all of them. But I don't know what his reasoning was for that. But I definitely think that a few trades definitely could have been made, or there was definitely a few offers that were decent offers that we definitely could have gotten. Like AC, his asking price was huge from AK. Like, he wanted like 3 first-round picks for AC, which is understandable, but I don't know, it might be a little bit too high. He also said he is proud of the players and coaches on the run after the All-Star break, which I am too, but there's definitely a lot of improvement, as I've said. But AK also said that his responsibility is to look at everything, and to be a 500 team is not good enough, and not good enough for the organization, and not good enough for the fan base. They deserve better. So I am going to have to look at everything. So he's going to look at everything for us Chicago Bulls fans, so that we can get a winning team. That is great news to hear, and I'm glad to be hearing that, because I do not want to watch a sub-500 team play basketball. It hurts to watch them lose against terrible teams and watch them like beat up. I mean, it's fun to watch them beat up like big and like better teams than us, but when they lose to like the Magic and the Pistons and all them, like, we can't be doing that. Those are teams that should be winnable games, and definitely those should be blowouts for us, so we can put like our subs in and we can like play them for like 10-15 minutes. But yeah, also AK, he said he's open to anything, So he's going to be looking at everything this offseason, and he's going to be looking at all the trades, the people he could sign this offseason, and everything. And he said a three-point shooting will be a priority, which we 100% need. I think we also need size. And, like, we need power forwards and small forwards. We definitely need some bench size, too. And we need a little bit of starter size, too. But Patrick Williams, no, I don't think we really need starter size. We just really need bench size because we have a really small bench with AC, Derrick Jones Jr., Javonte Green. They're all, like, undersized forwards. AC's not really, but Billy Donovan plays him at the forward for some reason. But we really need size at the bench, in the bench position. And AK has confidence that Zoe will come back and doesn't have a timeline for him. So that's kind of concerning on what they'll do with him, because if they can't just keep leaning on their thought of, like, oh, we have hope that Zoe's gonna come back, and then he'll never come back. Maybe it's a career-ending injury, and they're stuck on the thought of Zoe coming back, and we're still waiting for a true starting point guard to come to our team, because AK is not really looking for a starting point guard because he thinks Zoe's coming back. But he's going to really have to look at everything this offseason, especially that starting point guard spot, because we're going to need a starting point guard. He said we are accountable for the record. Yes, he is. And so is Billy Donovan. Fire that boy. He needs to go. But, yeah, they are definitely accountable for this record because they definitely could have made trades at the deadline. They definitely could have made some better signings. And Billy, I don't know what he's doing. He's doing too much small ball and everything. He's gotta really figure his stuff out because we're stuck with him for 2 to 3 more years, unless we can get AK to fire him. But probably not. We probably won't be able to do that. But he said about Vooch, my boy Vooch. I love Vooch. He said we hope to retain him, which means he wants to re-sign him. But Vooch said that he is going to test the free agent market. So that's a little scary. So hopefully he doesn't walk and try and go to a championship contending team, which is not us. I'm hoping that he wants to stay in Chicago. I'm hoping that he wants to play for us. And he also said that Io is going to have a big offseason, and he hopes that he is here for a long time. Io, I hope he has a great offseason, a big offseason, because he needs to really improve on a lot of stuff. Because his numbers from last year to this year, they dropped huge. And it was not good because every game he had like 5 points, 2 rebounds, and like 2 assists. Like, it was not good. Like, last year, he would have had like 2 steals, 2 blocks. Like, he would have been going crazy. He would have had like 10, 12 points, like 5, 6 rebounds. You know, he would have had everything. He would have been filling the stat sheets just like AC does for us. He also, and a reporter also asked AK if he hopes to resign Kobe White, and he said absolutely. He said absolutely with a big old smile on his face. Like, he was happy. He was, like, ready to re-sign him. But I'm scared for Kobe's future because Kobe wants to be a starting point guard, and I don't know if that's going to affect if we can re-sign him or not, because I don't know if they have that starting point guard position for him. So that is very scary to think about because I love Kobe. I want him back, and I want Vooch back too. And we have a lot of restricted free agents. We have 9 free agent. We cannot resign all of them because that'll be a big old hefty amount of money over the tax. So that is all for this one, and that is about the media day with Billy Donovan and AK, and that's gonna be all. I'll see you, Bulls fans. See red.